part of the reason that they were still able to put up 30 points, Courtney, is Antonio Brown went off in his return. And he didn't just go off on the field. He went off a little bit post-game as well. We'll hear that in just a second. But the Bucs clinch the division. They win their first division since 2007. And nothing new for Brady. That's now 18 division championships in 22 years. You know, I look at the Bucs' remaining schedule. It's hard not to think that they could actually push the Packers for the 1 seed. Not that the Packers have exactly murderer's row lying in front of them either, but only they have the Jets and the Panthers. Tampa Bay does at this point. I just look at Tampa Bay right now, and I think you have to be exceptionally impressed with what they've been able to do considering all their injuries.
Yeah, without Chris Godwin, without Mike Evans, without Leonard Fournette. I think Shaq Barrett wasn't there as well yesterday, too. I mean, they've had such a good run this season. And then they have their hiccup against the Saints where they can't score a touchdown. Everybody wonders if the sky is falling, if Tom Brady's mortal, if everything else happens like that. You know, this might be the team that just stumbles here down the stretch. Well, I know it was the Carolina Panthers and their 2-quarterback system, which I have a lot of thoughts on. But they left nothing in doubt here in this win. Tom Brady looked terrific, and I think the thing that you're starting to see here, which we needed to figure out, is how do you replace Chris Godwin? Well, you know, that role that he's played in like the slot, that big slot position that they like to call it, it's such a pivotal part of Bruce Arians' offensive scheme. And I remember last week, right after this happened, we find out that it's not just a sprained MCL, that it's a torn ACL and he's out for the year. How do you replace him? Like, are you looking at like a second-year player like Tyler Johnson and asking him to step up? Because looking down the depth chart of the rest of the receivers, like who else do you have at that time? Because Mike Evans is hurt. You're not going to get him back right away, like all this stuff. And then lo and behold, Antonio Brown is coming off suspension and he's welcomed back with open arms into the Tampa Bay team. And think what you want about all of that stuff, which there is a lot to get to, but from a football perspective, take a look at this stat sheet. It's clear who Tom Brady locked in on and who he trusted the most. And it wasn't Rob Gronkowski in this game. It was Antonio Brown. 15 targets, 10 receptions, 101 yards in the game that in his first game back since the suspension, 32-6 win over Tampa Bay. It's very obvious he's going to have a big role here down the stretch of the regular season as they try to lock up the number 1 overall seed. I mean, I can't really figure out at this point. I think Tampa Bay's schedule is more difficult, less difficult than the Green Bay Packers, but they're both kind of a toss-up at this point. Right. So they've got the Jets and they've got the Panthers again, this inept offense and this inept coaching staff they're going to face again in Carolina. But the Packers have the Vikings and they've got the Lions. Not really and juggernauts on either side of this, but I think that they can make a real legitimate push for the overall number 1 seed. It's going to be fun to watch between Green Bay and Tampa Bay jockeying down the stretch.
Now, with Brown, the famous quote last year from Arians, one screw up and he's out of here. And I actually wonder if that might have been the case if they had not lost Godwin and didn't have Evans and didn't have Fournette. I actually wonder if he might have gotten rid of him, but...
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.